Ladies, you might be sitting there thinking, man, he's over me. He's moved on. He's done. But let me tell you right now, if you think that, you are completely wrong. Dead wrong. I don't care what you see on Instagram. I don't care what his friends are telling you. I don't care what he's posting online with a big smile or some filtered selfie. Men don't move on the way women think they do. That's just not how it works. And today I want you to hear the truth, because so many people get fooled by appearances, by social media, by the little lies we tell ourselves when we're hurt. Men don't just erase love overnight. They don't just flip a switch and forget the person who mattered to them. And if he's still breathing, if he's still around, if he's still alive, then you better believe he's not over you. See, here's the thing. Men show their feelings differently. They might act distant. They might stop texting like they used to. They might even try to push you away because they're scared, because they're confused, because they don't know how to handle what they're feeling. But that doesn't mean they're over you. No, not even close. I've seen it 1,000 times. A man who is truly done with someone, he disappears. He doesn't linger. He doesn't check in. He doesn't pretend like everything is fine. But when he's still around, when he's still sneaking little messages your way, when he's still curious about your life, that's the proof. That's the evidence. He's not over you. And sometimes women get it twisted. They see a little distance and think, oh, he's over me. He's moved on. But distance isn't always about leaving. Sometimes distance is about processing, about figuring out how to come back without looking weak. And let me tell you about memories. Men don't forget like that. You think a man can just wake up one day and erase all the moments you shared, all the laughter, all the inside jokes, all the late night talks that lasted until 3 a.m., all the intimacy, all the tears, all the secrets that nobody else knows. No, that's not happening. Those memories stay with him. They linger. They follow him. They shape his thoughts, his dreams, his desires, even if he's acting like he's over it, even if he's trying to convince himself that he's fine without you. Those memories are quietly tugging him back. They're quietly reminding him of what he lost, reminding him of the woman who made a difference in his life, reminding him that what he's looking for elsewhere might not even exist. And that's why so many men eventually come back, or at least show signs that they're not over you. And let's talk about comparisons, because this is something most women don't understand. Men are constantly comparing. They compare who they have now to who they had before. And 9 times out of 10, you win. You were the standard. You were the person who got him in a way nobody else could. And when he's out there trying to move on, when he's dating or talking to someone new, his mind is always running back to you. How does she measure up to you? Does she make him laugh the same way you did? Does she understand him the way you understood him? Does she make him feel the way he felt with you? And 9 times out of 10, he's thinking nobody does it like her. Nobody compares. So if you see him talking to other women, don't immediately assume he's over you. Most of the time, he's just realizing that what he had with you was rare, special, unique, and impossible to replace. And here's the part that's crucial. Men give signals, even when they're trying to hide how they feel, even when they're trying to convince themselves they don't care. Men give signals. A text here, a call there, a message in the middle of the night that seems casual but isn't. A like on your photo, a comment on your story, a subtle mention of something only the two of you would know. Those are signals. Those are breadcrumbs. That's him letting you know he's still there, still paying attention, still thinking about you. But here's the catch. You have to pay attention. You have to see beyond the surface. Don't let appearances fool you. Men don't just erase feelings, they bury them until the right moment, until they feel safe enough to come back, until they realize that no one else can replace what you had. And here's something else to remember. A man who loves you will always find a way to let you know, even if it's small, even if it's confusing. He might act stubborn, he might act frustrated, he might even act like he doesn't care, but deep down, his heart is still engaged. And if he's still thinking about you, still showing up in little ways, still making sure you're okay, that's proof. That's all the proof you need. It doesn't matter what he says. It doesn't matter what he posts online. What matters is what he does. Actions reveal the truth. Actions always reveal the truth. Now, I want you to stop doubting yourself. Stop convincing yourself that he's gone. Stop letting appearances fool you. Love doesn't disappear that fast. Men aren't as quick to let go as you think. And if he's still thinking about you, still checking on you, still showing up in his own way, even if it's subtle, even if it's confusing, that's proof he's not over you. And the next time you see him acting a little off, the next time you see him acting distant or even frustrated, don't panic. Don't think the worst. Look closer. Watch the signs. Watch the little things. Watch the actions. Because men who love, men who care, they leave little clues. And if you pay attention, you'll know the truth. He's not over you. Not even close. And remember, he might not come right out and say it. Men rarely do, but the signals are there. The actions are there. The memories are there. And the comparisons are there. So if you think he's moved on, stop. Take a step back. Look deeper. Pay attention. And you'll see what I'm talking about. He's not over you. He's never really going to be over you. And that's a truth you need to understand. Let me tell you something right now. If you are sitting there thinking that he's over you, that he's moved on, that he's done and dusted with everything you two shared, you are completely mistaken. Dead wrong. I don't care what you see on social media. I don't care what his friends are telling you. I don't care how he's smiling on some random post like nothing ever happened. Men don't operate the way women think they do when it comes to letting go of someone they really care about. Love doesn't just vanish overnight. It doesn't disappear with a few missed texts. And it certainly doesn't evaporate just because he's acting distant. And I want you to hear me clear, because a lot of women get fooled by appearances, by what they see on the outside, instead of paying attention to what's really happening on the inside. Men don't just erase feelings. They bury them. They wrestle with them. They figure them out in their own time. And if he's still breathing, if he's still in your life in even the smallest way, you better believe he's not over you. See, here's what most people don't understand. Men show love differently when a man is still attached to a woman. When he still has feelings, he might not act like it all the time. He might act distant. He might pull back. He might even try to push you away because he's confused or afraid. But that doesn't mean he's done. No, not even close. In fact, sometimes that distance is a signal that he's struggling with his feelings, not that he's finished with them. I've seen it happen over and over again. Men might hide, they might retreat. But if they care, if they're still invested, their attention comes back in subtle ways. A text at the wrong hour, a random question about your life, a comment that seems casual but is full of meaning. Those are breadcrumbs. And if you pay attention, if you really watch, you'll see it. That's him telling you he's not over you without ever having to say it out loud. And then the thing about memories, women think men can just forget. They think that once the relationship ends or once things get tough, men just flip a switch and move on. That is absolutely false. Memories don't work like that. The late night talks, the laughter, the arguments that ended in kisses, the secrets that only the two of you shared, men carry all of that with them. Those memories stay in the mind and in the heart, shaping their feelings and influencing their decisions. Even if he is acting like nothing matters, even if he's trying to convince himself that he's over it, those memories are quietly working behind the scenes, reminding him of what he lost, reminding him of how special you are, reminding him that nobody else could ever compare. And that is why even when he seems distant, even when he seems done, he's really not. He is just processing. He's just wrestling with his heart. And he is quietly thinking about you more than you realize. Then we get to the comparisons. This is a big one that most women miss. Men are constantly measuring what they have now against what they had before. And 9 times out of 10, you were the standard. You were the one who got him in a way nobody else could. So when he's out there trying to move on, meeting new people, dating someone else, talking to someone, he subconsciously comparing them to you. Does she make him laugh the same way you did? Does she understand him the way you understood him? Does she make him feel the way he felt with you? And more often than not, he's realizing nobody does it like you. Nobody compares. And that's why he's still thinking about you. That's why he's still keeping you in his mind. That's why he's still not fully over you, even if he tries to act like it. Now, let's talk about communication, because this is something that trips up a lot of women. Men are always giving signals, even when they're trying to hide how they feel. A casual text that seems innocent. A message in the middle of the night that looks like it doesn't matter, but actually does. A comment, a like, a question about your day. These are all signals. They are signs that he's still paying attention, that he's still invested, that he's still thinking about you. And here's the thing, you have to know how to read them. You have to see beyond the surface, beyond the distance, beyond the words he's not saying. Men rarely come out and say exactly how they feel, but their actions, their little gestures, their subtle ways of staying connected. That's the language of a man who's not over you. And here's the part most women don't understand. A man who really loves you will find a way to let you know, even if it's small, even if it's indirect, even if it's confusing. He might act stubborn. He might act frustrated. He might even act like he doesn't care. But deep down, his heart is still engaged. He's still paying attention. He's still thinking about you. And if you're paying attention, if you're really looking at the signals, you will see it. That's proof. That's the evidence that he's not over you. And I want you to remember something. Love doesn't disappear that fast. Men don't let go that easily. And even when they're quiet, even when they're acting distant, even when they're pretending to be over you, they're still in there wrestling with their feelings, trying to figure out how to come back without looking weak, trying to figure out how to make sense of what they lost. So if you are doubting yourself, if you're convinced that he's over you, stop right there. Look closer. Watch the signs. Watch his actions. Watch the little things. Pay attention to the subtle ways he shows he cares, because they're there, even if they're small. And don't let appearances fool you. A man who's truly done, he disappears. A man who's truly done, he doesn't check in. A man who's truly done, he doesn't linger in any way. But if he's still there, if he's still showing up in little ways, if he's still curious about your life, that's all the proof you need. He's not over you, not even close. And finally, understand this. Men who love, don't forget, they don't move on like you think. They carry memories. They make comparisons. They get subtle signals. And they wrestle with their feelings. Even when he's acting distant, even when he's trying to convince himself that he's over it, he's not. And if you pay attention, if you understand the way men operate, if you watch the signs, you will see the truth. He's still thinking about you. He's still invested. He's still not over you. And that's something you need to understand, because so many women get it wrong. They assume he's gone. They assume he doesn't care. They assume he's moved on. But the truth is, love doesn't disappear that fast. And a man who truly cared about you, who truly loved you, is never really over you. Now listen to me, because this is something so many women get wrong. You look at him and you say, he's over me. He's done. He's moved on. But let me tell you straight, if that's what you're thinking, you are dead wrong. Completely 100% wrong. I don't care what his social media says. I don't care what his friends are telling you. I don't care if he's posting happy pictures, laughing in public, or acting like he's got life all together. Men don't move on like you think. Not the way women expect them to. Love, real love, doesn't just vanish overnight. It doesn't disappear with a few cold texts. And as sure as heaven doesn't go away just because he's acting distant or frustrated. And the truth is, if he's still breathing, if he's still in your life, in even the smallest way, then you better believe he's not over you. Let's talk about how men handle feelings, because this is where most women get it wrong. Men don't always show what they feel on the outside. Sometimes when they love someone, they pull away. They act distant. They act frustrated. They might even try to push you away. And the woman looks at that and thinks, oh, he's over me. But no, that's not over. That's fear. That's confusion. That's a man trying to figure out how to handle the love that's still inside of him. And I'll tell you, women, men are not like us. Men don't process feelings by talking about them or crying about them. Men process feelings by thinking. And sometimes thinking means withdrawing. Sometimes thinking means acting like they don't care when in reality they care more than ever. And then there are the memories. Women tend to underestimate the power of memories. Men, don't forget the moments you shared, all the little things that mattered, the laughs, the late night talks, the way you understood him in ways nobody else did. Those things stay. Men don't erase that. That doesn't just go away because a relationship hit a rough patch. It lingers. It shapes how he thinks, how he feels, how he measures everything else, even when he acts like he's over it. Those memories are quietly pulling at him. They make him think about the times you spent together, the way you made him feel, and the bond that nobody else can replicate. So even if he's acting like he's moved on, his mind and his heart are still very much engaged with you. And here's something else. Men compare. I said it. They compare. And 9 times out of 10, you were the standard. You set the bar. And when he's out there trying to move on, dating other women, talking to other women, or even just seeing what's out there, he's subconsciously measuring everyone against you. Does she laugh the same way? Does she understand him the same way? Does she make him feel the way you made him feel? And the answer most of the time is no. She doesn't. Nobody does. And that's why he's still thinking about you, even if he's not ready to admit it. That's why he hasn't moved on. You were the one who made an impact on him that nobody else can duplicate. And the more he tries to convince himself he's over it, the more reality keeps whispering nobody compares. Nobody like her. Now let's get real about the signs, because this is where women trip up. Men give signals all the time, even when they're trying to hide how they feel. A text that looks casual, a question about your life that seems innocent, a message at 2 a.m. that seems random, a comment, a like, a small gesture. Those are signs. Those are signals that he's still paying attention, still thinking about you, still invested. But you have to know how to read them. Don't let the silence fool you. Don't let the distance fool you. Don't let his words fool you. Actions speak louder than words, always. And if you're paying attention, you'll see what's really going on. And let me tell you something about how men hide their feelings. They do it for a reason. They do it because they're afraid. They're afraid of rejection. They're afraid of looking weak. They're afraid of showing vulnerability. And that's why they act distant. That's why they act frustrated. That's why they act like they're over you when inside they're still thinking about you every day. You have to understand that men don't usually verbalize what they feel. They don't talk about it. They don't cry about it. They show it in their actions and their gestures and the little ways they stay connected. And if you pay attention, if you notice the signs, you will know the truth. He's not over you, not even close. And another thing, women often think if he's out with other people or talking to other women, that means he's over you. But that's not true. Men often explore what's out there, not because they've forgotten you, but because they're trying to figure out what they really want. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, nothing compares to what you had. Nothing comes close. And so even when it seems like he's moving on, he's really still thinking about you, still measuring everyone against you, still wondering if he made a mistake. And finally, let me tell you about the power of subtlety. Men rarely make grand declarations. Rarely. But the signs are that if you look close enough, a text, a like, a question, a call, a gesture, a memory brought up in conversation. That's how a man shows he's not over you. And if you're paying attention, if you're really looking, if you're not fooled by appearances, you'll see it. He's still thinking about you. He's still invested. He's still feeling, still caring, still engaged. And you need to see that, understand that, and stop convincing yourself that he's gone. Because he's not. He's never really gone. Let me tell you something that most women do not understand. You see him on social media, smiling, laughing, posting pictures, and you immediately assume he's over me. He's moved on. He doesn't care anymore. But that assumption, dead wrong, completely wrong. I don't care what his friends are saying. I don't care what he's posting online. I don't care if he's talking to other people. Men do not move on the way women think they do. Love doesn't.